children of the night. What music they make. They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
What's up, fools? Welcome to Final Guys. It is a very snowy Tuesday here in Maryland. Are you guys getting crushed up there?
It's coming in a little while.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. I'm ready. Damn it.
Did it already hit you, Chad?
It snowed a little bit earlier today, but that's it.
Oh, we have like inches so far. It's kind of nice.
Woo, that's what
Might mess up my work schedule tomorrow, so we'll see. Maybe I'll get the day off. Ha, ha. All right, so today we are doing the Shudder. Is it a Shudder original or just an exclusive? I actually wasn't paying
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out.
It's a movie on Shudder.
The Shutter movie.
Brand new movie
Called
in Shudder.
Grafted. So we will be talking about that later and all the other shit we have watched as usual. You guys have any news, notes, or exciting tidbits to throw out there?
Nah, no tidbits.
I'm a little healthier, but I may explode a couple of times. We'll see how it
Like
goes.
out the back end?
No, the front.
Your voice does sound better this week. Alrighty. Well, then let's do some drinking words. Who wants to
All right.
read?
You guys know how this works. It's almost 400 episodes in. We say these words, you drink your drink. Jack's words tonight are Super Bowl. Can we say that? Do we have to say the big game?
Big game.
Yeah. New and rainbow. My words are Chinese, scalpel, and face. Jason's are rubber, body, and lab. Mr. Chad Lusky's are Tubi, horror, flower. Tubi, low-hanging fruit, brother. Bonus words are graft, substance, and away.
I guess no halftime show discussion on there. Figured we could get everybody pissed off at us one way or the other.
You know what? I didn't even watch the Super Bowl except for a few minutes in the fourth quarter. I saw Pat Mahomes get smacked in the face. That was pretty satisfying.
During the halftime show, I was holding my iPad and watching YouTube videos and kind of glancing up once in a while and going, I don't know anything by that guy. And it wasn't my kind of thing. So I saw Samuel M. Jackson a few times. And then the next day, all of a sudden people are like, you need to know the meaning behind this and that and the next thing. And I'm like,
No, I
look,
don't.
man,
Yeah, if you don't care about that kind of music or you didn't watch it or something, you're part of the problem, Jack.
it's like I gave up on halftime
Apparently.
shows once, like the East Street Band stopped doing it. Like,
Can we
Someone
get-
sent me a video that was like explained the symbolism. I was like, I'm not watching that. I don't care.
Oh, can we get Aerosmith and Britney Spears back
that was
when
awesome.
they performed together? I mean,
That
come
was a
on.
good one, actually. I
Yeah,
never
give
thought
us-
I'd care to see Britney Spears, but it was actually pretty good.
Well,
Yeah.
Prince set the bar way too high.
Yes,
Prince
he
is
did.
amazing. Oh my lord, that was the best concert I've ever seen in my life.
The big dick guitar. That was amazing. Alrighty. If we have no other shit to talk about, then let's get into the news. It's the news. Yay. You know, I was thinking I might have to change that bumper for you because all of a sudden this is like the money driver of the show. I might have to be like, the news. Yeah.
Cha-ching!
Suddenly you come running to the kiss the ring.
Oh boy.
I'm going to have
Oh,
to bend
boy.
the knee here. I don't like this.
Heavy as the crown.
That's why you got the crown jammed under that hat tonight.
Fright night. You like
Fright
that?
night, baby.
Remember when I got this at Chiller?
Oh yeah. I never see you in hats like that. So this is a nice surprise.
I like this hat, but my head is too big for it, so it's squeezing my brain. Remember Jason recently watched Creep Tapes?
Yeah.
I watched a couple of episodes of that. Haven't finished it yet. Well, folks, you might as well catch up because Shudder has ordered season 2.
More creeps.
Interesting.
More creeps coming your way. What do you think of that, Jason?
Good. Like I said, I liked it. Yeah, I'll be curious to see where he takes it because he started, getting into the lore a little bit towards the end of the season. But how hard is it to shoot these? You're in a house and you're chasing someone around.
There will come a point where you're like, okay, that's enough creep. But I don't think we're there yet.
I'll be curious to see what he does. See if he tries to keep it fresh.
The second piece of news. We're all fans of Dave Bautista, right? Pretty good actor. Like, thought he was
Yeah.
just gonna be a wrestler. He was really funny as Drax. He was in like Blade Runner and that what's that one? Cabin at the End of the Woods.
Cabin at
movie?
the End of the Woods. Yeah.
Dude,
A lot of
he
other
was
stuff.
Good in that.
He's really good. Well, he is going to be in a movie called Dreadnought, where he's going to fight aliens, and it's being brought to us by the directors of Becky.
Oh.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my God, that is a match made in heaven.
Isn't Dreadnought a comic book character?
I don't know. This is
Sounds familiar.
an alien species has crash landed on Earth, unleashing a deadly plague that claimed the life of his wife and much of humanity. In the fragile society that remains, humans have learned to coexist with their extraterrestrial invaders, but for Max, survival isn't enough. His older daughter, Greta, is dying from the disease. As her body weakens, an alien sentinel lurks outside the home, drawing nearer and nearer as Greta's taking her final breaths. And the silent, unyielding predator is on a mission to collect her body to fulfill an unstoppable metamorphosis ritual. The government sanctions it. Society accepts it. But Batista says, not today, bitch.
Spoiler alerts.
that was a lot of story for an alien invasion movie. Wow.
By the way, ring the bell, Jack.
Oh, here we go.
Good old Joshua Barrio, who I believe he said just got out of jury duty. So
Yep.
he's full of his civic duty pride right now. Take single bills or rolls of quarters.
Yes.
They found out he listens to this show, and they were like, okay, you're excused.
Yeah, really. You have no objective opinions.
Have you guys ever had to sit on jury duty? I have
Oh,
not.
I
I've
love
gotten
jury
excused
duty.
every time.
I got called in, but I never went, and I never got in trouble for it either. So,
I've
just
sat on
no-showed?
2 trials.
man, I was 18. They did not want me there. That would have been a bad idea.
The last time I got selected or what was in the process, I sat down with the people and basically explained my job and was like, if I'm missing for a couple of weeks, we can't do what we do and everybody's screwed. So please don't pick me or my company's like, there's 4 of us in this company. So please don't. And they're
Oh.
like, okay, you're good.
I play it so I can get on the jury. So I've done a criminal trial and a civil trial, and I loved both. One of them was like, took 10 days to convict a dude who sold drugs to a cop. I was like, what the hell?
I was too young to really understand, and I didn't know what it was. And I just saw the thing, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
I have friends who
didn't-
just throw
I didn't
those
know I could be in
notices
trouble.
away.
Yeah, I actually got called in like October, but the night before they called and said, "Oh, it's canceled. Your obligation's fulfilled." Sweet, that's it.
Serve if you get a chance. It's really fascinating.
I was gonna go, so I wasn't gonna no show. It would cost me a lot of time.
It's like the second half of Law and Order.
Law and Order. I know Hunter's reaction to this, but I'm curious about the other guys in this podcast.
Poker face.
Any of you guys fans of the radio program Coast to Coast that used to be on?
Doesn't even ring a bell.
Art Bell, Coast to
Art
Coast.
Bell. You guys are missing out.
Oh,
Coast to
Lord.
Coast was this show that they played in like the middle of the night. It was like 5 hours long.
Yeah.
And people would like call in with their ghost stories and UFOs and they would interview people. It was like early 2000s when I went to bed one night, turned on the radio and heard this woman talking about the scratching in her wall. And I thought I was listening to something about rodents or something. And suddenly she's like, and my mother and I held each other as this demonic voice. And I was like, what the hell am I listening to? Jesus Christ.
Show is still on, by the way. Different host, but it's still on.
Yeah, they got a great website. So anyway, it's a legendary paranormal show. And Art Bell was the host and kind of a legendary figure. This is awesome news. Paul Giamatti and the guys from Radio Silence are working on a biopic about Art Bell.
I will be first in line when that movie comes out.
Not only that, but I found out Paul Giamatti has a podcast similar to Coast now. He's
What?
Really?
not only a horror guy, he's like a monster man.
Can all these
Oh, wow.
stars stay off the
I
podcasting
know.
landscape? Did they make enough money, get enough attention?
Some of them are really
Jesus.
good, though, man.
Yeah, but still, give a chance for somebody else.
Dare you want to
frustrating.
make money?
Well, the cool thing about these stars doing it is they get their buddies on there that other people might not be able to get on there.
Yeah, they do.
They should get
But-
us. on there.
I am psyched for this, by the way.
I
saw
don't know who this dude
news-
is, but radio silence. I'm in.
You don't know who Paul Giamatti is?
No, the radio guy.
Art Bell.
Yes.
Art Bell kind of looked like Jerry Stiller. They seem familiar.
That is all the news that's fit to print. Let's get going.
All right, here we go.
We have such sights to show you.
Blasting through this episode. Hell yes.
We're like four guys who just did prep for a colonoscopy tomorrow, and time's running out.
That's not where I was going, but all right. Zip your lip, Lutsky. What you got?
I watched something that I thought was going to be something else. I thought it was going to be part of the, what do they call it? The Pooniverse?
Oh,
The what?
The Pooniverse? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh.
Yeah. I watched The Mousetrap.
Hold on.
Okay.
We got a
What
super
do we
chat.
got, Josh?
didn't Art Bell write the book that made the day after tomorrow or 2012? That feels like a you question.
I think Day After Tomorrow was based on a Whitley Strieber book. I do believe.
I have absolutely no clue.
I'm going to go
I
online and I'm
really-
going to say it's Whitley Strieber and Jim Konetka or something like that.
In the book, do people actually outrun the cold? Because that was cool. In the
So
movie.
easy to do.
And you freeze to death if you're caught in it, but if you go into a library and burn a couple books in a fire, you're good.
It's like the guys in The Dark Knight Rises when they're running across the football field in front of the
Yeah.
explosion. That's the way they're running away from the cold.
Oh, what a movie.
Yeah,
I have no
don't know
idea,
if Art Bell
Josh.
wrote anything, but I'm going
Thanks,
to
man.
consult my bookshelf.
Thanks, Josh.
Appreciate it. All right, sorry, Chad.
Yeah, no problem. I watched The Mousetrap. Came
That's
out.
Steamboat Willie.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
No, but I thought I don't know much about that, but I guess I thought this was going to be kind of like that because this was actually I guess released or announced on the day that Mickey Mouse went to public domain. So
Wow.
this guy thought he would have his go at some Mickey Mouse stuff. So the movie starts with a goth girl that's being interrogated by two cops about events that happened at a place called Fun Haven, which is basically like an really cool amusement arcade where some of her friends worked. That night they all held a surprise birthday after hours, and people ended up dead because of a guy wearing a Mickey Mouse mask
What was the name
slashing
of
him. The Mousetrap.
this? Okay, sorry.
not to be confused with Mousetrap, that Nathan
Yeah.
Lane movie.
There's nothing to do with Mickey Mouse in this movie other than him mentioned once or twice, and then they show the old Steamboat Willie cartoon a couple times, just like on some dude's screen and then on a monitor, and then there's a mask. So that's it. This is not like Pooh Bear, Blood and Honey, where it takes the IP and uses the lore for creating actual horror movie. This is Five Nights at Freddy's with a Mickey Mouse mask, or Friday the 13th with a Mickey Mouse mask inside of this arcade thing.
Oh my.
The reason why this guy is even wearing the mask in the first place and killing people is never given. He's like the arcade owner. One minute he's pouring himself a drink after work. The next minute he's wearing this mask that somehow has possessed him. And I rewound it after watching it to see if I could understand what happened. And no, it's super confusing.
I know why he was wearing the mask.
Well, he owned a vintage. It's a real vintage '67, I guess, Mickey Mouse mask.
Why? Because we like you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you showed your age there.
MOUSD.
MOUSD.
Oh,
Most of the kills in this movie are off screen, and then toward the end we finally get a little gore, but it's all uninspired, cliche, nothing new here. A slit throat, beheading, CGI blood, the stuff that we don't like. This movie it's really bad, and you should never watch it.
Chad
It
took a
makes-
bullet.
And you had to
It
rewind.
Very brave.
Yeah,
Threw on
it
a
makes
grenade.
blood and
Threw stuff on a grenade.
if you see Blood and Honey and then you watch this, Blood and Honey looks like Golden Globe worthy. Like Kubrick directed it and Tarantino wrote it.
Oh, that's
The dialogue in this thing is
Wow.
atrocious.
that is
Thank
damn.
you for
There-
your service.
There's meta jokes that are already done that were already done in Scream decades ago. I don't know how this movie was made. The whole interrogation thing that kind of goes in and out like as some kind of like flash forward thing goes nowhere. There's the only reason why it's there is to add screen time. It doesn't make sense. And it unfortunately follows the trend of making young adults absolutely unbearable, entitled, and apathetic.
That sounds absolutely terrible. Oh, the money's flying in. It's not
Show
even
me the money twice. We got Michael Clark coming in hot.
at $4.99. He always does the 99 cents part.
Bo was
Thank you,
afraid. That's a Lutsky movie.
I've also-
Yeah, I did. I think I'm the only one who saw it, and I have tried to get these guys to see it. I think it's good. I liked it.
I mean, it's
I
3 hours.
forget about it. Like every time I'm trying to pick a movie, I never remember it.
It is really, really out there. If you try to forget that Ari Aster did it, and you're just like, "Hey, I'm going to check out this new, what's his name, Joaquin Phoenix movie,"
Yeah,
you might appreciate it more.
I really do want to watch that movie. I joke, but it's like Jason. I'm the same thing. I forget.
Yeah, I want
It's
to watch
Long
it
too, so you got to be ready.
It is, but it's like honestly, it's like epic, like Forrest Gump. Like it covers a long,
Oh, that was a bad
period of
comparison.
time.
Jenny.
I need to do this. Thanks, MC. Appreciate it.
And
But
there's another one. Josh Barrio again. Strieber and Art Bell, the coming global superstore, or maybe Superstorm. I'm not sure. I hope there's a superstore of Art Bell
Super
stuff.
spreader. That's me.
I know you like to spread it, Jack.
I don't know if Stryber does he write anything that's not fiction anymore?
Laser.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He found his niche.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
So thank you. Thanks, guys. One last
Yeah,
thing I
that's
wanted
neat.
to say about this movie is, I guess I consider it a spoiler. So if you really want to see this movie, plug your ears. If you
Oh,
hate
no.
yourself that much, we find out that the guy in the mask's weakness is a flashlight with a strobe light effect on it. And the reason why he can't stand the light is it makes him, it stops him from teleporting anymore. Thus, he can be captured. I'm telling you, do not watch this movie.
So it's a true story.
True
It's on Amazon Prime if you dare. But man,
So the haunted Mickey Mouse mask allows him to teleport?
yes, he teleports,
But
Wouldn't it?
strobe
but the strobe light stops him. Yeah,
The help of Tinkerbell.
That's
This
in
has to-
line with the Mickey Mouse mythos.
this
This
is not so bad. It's
2.5.
good. Yeah,
It's a
this is-
2.5 on IMDb. I rarely watch movies on So Bad It's Good that are that low. That is like
I don't
redeeming
look.
quality.
I never look at ratings. I never look at ratings because I guess I just don't trust them. I expected more of this. I thought this was good. I thought maybe this is even. I thought this could be even by the. I know the guy that did Pooh, Winnie the Pooh or whatever. He was going to do a whole bunch. So I thought maybe this is his too, and maybe it's better.
Nice Fan has the best comment. Teleport to a better movie.
Yeah, I wanted to.
All right, Hunter, please tell me you saw something better than that for your own sanity.
Well, I did watch a movie that was inspired by a true story. It's on Netflix. It's called oh my God, I can't remember the name of it. The Deliverance. There we go.
Oh, I heard about this one.
You're going to squeal like a pig on this one. So this is, first of all, I put it on there. I'm like, oh, this is probably going to be crap, but I've got this Netflix subscription for a little while. Let me just catch up on stuff. It's about this down and out family. It's a single mom. Her husband is away in Iraq. We never really know if he is or he just left. She's a former junkie. The mom she's abusive. She's a horrible human being. And she's got 3 kids. And her mother, her actual mother, is Glenn Close, who is living with them because Glenn Close is a hoochie mama. So if you ever want to see Glenn Close in ripped up jeans and her boobs hanging out, this is your movie. she's kind of a hoochie grandma who's got cancer, so she's going through treatment. She's living with them. Monique is in it. She's the child protective services worker who has to keep checking in on her. The first half of this movie, more than half, it's a family drama, and it is as brutal as you can get. When they're at the dinner table and the mom is telling Glenn Close, her mother, to shut the fuck up at the dinner table in front of the kids while smacking the kids till they bleed, you're like,
Jesus.
holy cow. Like, this is, and you realize this goes on. Like, this goes on in too many houses across the country. So the drama part is just, I'm like, at one point, I'm like, I don't want any horror in this. Just carry on with this. Let's take this to its natural conclusion. But because it's a horror movie, they're living in a house where something is in the basement and the youngest child is talking to it. And then it becomes a possession movie. So it kind of falls apart towards the end it gets to all the usual possession stuff that we've seen a million times. So you go from this hyper realistic, broken family to walking on walls.
Does anybody do the back arch looking at the ceiling, shaking a little bit, unpossessed?
It's done a couple of times.
What about nightgowns? Anybody wearing a nightgown?
Yep. So, because what happens is the little boy is possessed and then it extends to the other kids. Like I said, that part is not that great, but this is such a gut punch of a movie. You're going to really probably gloss over that. I really like this movie, despite it doing every stupid thing I see in possession movies. But luckily, they save it for so far towards the end of the movie, it doesn't take up a lot of space. But the performances are amazing. I mean, you just sit there with your mouth open going, holy cow. So
This sounds like my hell, a possession movie around beating children. Cool.
I know. If we could throw some torture porn in it, this would be...
I'm gonna race to watch this one.
It's not uplifting at all.
A good friend of mine saw this and told me it was hot garbage and to avoid it at all costs.
I could see why, because that ending is going to turn a lot of people off. Or if you're looking for a straight horror movie, the beginning is going to turn you off. So it's it just should have been a drama, I think. But wow, I liked it more than most things I watch nowadays.
For a horror guy to say cut the horror is damning.
But that's how good the family drama was. You don't need the horror.
Fair enough. All right.
But, this happened in real life. Everything we saw, I'm sure. So you got to tell the real story.
Kind of like Mousetrap.
Exactly.
All right, Jack. We got.
I watched a movie that is sort of horror adjacent, but so much of the horror genre was built on movies like this. And I can't believe in this time of conspiracy theories and moon landing faking theories,
Flat Earth.
nobody talks about this movie. Capricorn One from 1977.
Oh, I love that movie.
I've heard of this, but I've never seen it.
So this has, look at this.
Check out this cast.
James Brolin, Sam Waterston, and O.J. Simpson are astronauts on the first trip to Mars.
Look out. He couldn't put the astronaut gloves on, though, OJ, so he wasn't.
Hal Holbrook is like the NASA guy who's like the boss. And then Elliot Gould is a reporter.
Telly Savalas, Karen Black.
We're going to get to Telly Savalas in a minute.
Jesus.
So basically, just as the mission is about to go, the astronauts are pulled off the ship. The ship is launched. And basically, they're told that for reasons they're not going, and they're going to fake the moon, the Mars landing. And they're taken to another site where they have to basically do the Kubrick stuff where they're filmed for TV. And then Elliot Gould starts to get onto the trail of the story. And then naturally, the forces that be start going after him, sort of the Men in Black kind of thing, the government. Karen Black is in this movie. Telly Savalas has a small but amazing role in this movie. He steals it. And it's this 70s movie, so it's got all these elements of the conspiracy and almost like All the President's Men thing going. but then like there's this like crazy airplane chase that feels like North by Northwest meets It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. like it's that old fashioned 70s.
Oh, dude,
You know,
I saw
Hollywood
this in
picture.
the theater when it came out at the Kent. Oh, I was like 9.
So it's like a
Love it.
fun watch, and especially if you're older like us, it hits all the nostalgia buttons. But it amazes me that like nobody ever talks about this movie, and it's so relevant to all the conspiracy theory stuff that's going on now. I'm surprised like they don't even remake this one. Of course, it's got the baggage of O.J. Simpson in it.
That's what makes it even better.
Brenda Vaccaro's in it as well.
Where did you see this, by the way?
Prime Video.
Oh,
So
all right. I got to watch this again.
I suggest watching this. Good watch, about 2 hours. A lot of fun. And like I said, Telly Savalas is worth it alone. I had a blast watching this. I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. So it was really fun. But like the X-Files and all that stuff, like I watched Hangar 18 last week. That movie, this movie, those are all the foundations of like X-Files and all that stuff.
You're right.
It's one of those, I don't know how I never saw it, to be honest.
I've never seen it. I'm aware of it, but I've never watched it.
Definitely worth a look. All-star cat. David Doyle's in it.
I remember my parents took me and we all saw it as a family. And then I was given money to go see it by myself a couple of more times. Like,
Oh, wow.
$250, go to the movies. At 9. Alone. That might be abuse. I don't know. Neglect.
Alrighty. Jack, I want to say a week or two ago, you saw a movie called Missing Couple.
Oh, that was like a couple of months ago, I think.
Oh, was it a couple months ago? Oh, okay. Well, in my booze-addled brain, 2 weeks ago, you watched #MissingCouple. And I've been trying to find a found footage movie that's recent that I have liked, so I finally got around to this. I definitely liked this more than you did. It wasn't great, but I
Is that your brother?
shockingly... Nah, he doesn't look that stupid. I actually really liked the end of this movie. I was like, it's okay, stuff's happening, it's fine. You already explained it, but it's about 2 influencers who buy a cabin. They're doing the van life thing, they're sick of it, so they buy a cabin and they go up into the woods, but they are still producing YouTube and TikTok stuff. And what's interesting is this couple is apparently, they're actually like YouTubers and on Instagram and stuff, and they are like van life people. So the people who made this movie hired them. They'd never acted. They hired them to just do this out in the woods for the movie. And then these people, I don't know if they stopped posting for a while, but I think they tried to play it like the movie was real and what happens in it was real. So I obviously am watching this after that. They're like posting again regularly. So the charade is over. But yeah, I was like, okay, this is standard found footage. People are out in the woods. Scary shit's happening around them. It was much more entertaining than recent ones I've seen, but I thoroughly enjoyed the ending of this. Like I was surprised. There was 2 twists in it that I did not see coming, and I was like, shit, that wasn't bad. Now, depending on how you see the ending, there are some holes in what happens in the story that leads up to that I'm not sure that it actually quite works. But for a movie with 3 people in it, where they just went out in the woods and shot it, I thought it was all right. I thought this was all right. It would be worth a watch. And I'd be curious to hear what you guys think of the ending at some point. So, yeah.
I'll have to watch it after Capricorn One. Capricorn One has now got my heart.
Alrighty. Who went first? Chat.
Chad.
Okay, had to unmute. After watching that horrible slasher, The Mousetrap, I decided to turn to a sure thing and threw on an A24 movie that is, I don't even think it's been out a half a year, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it. It's called The Front Room and stars Brandy, the singer
I've heard
chick,
of that one.
and some guy, I don't know who he is. He looks like one of the Culkin kids, and Daniel Radcliffe had a baby. And but I don't think I've seen him in anything else.
Is this the one with the old woman living in the house?
Yeah.
I saw
yeah.
trailers for this, and I was like,
Okay. So Brandy and Culkin are a struggling, financially struggling interracial couple expecting a baby. and his father dies, and this enigmatic stepmother offers all the money she has to them, gives it to them, but the stipulation is that she gets to live with them now, and he has a history with her. He does not like this woman. Claims that she's abusive, too overzealous with her Christianity. Wouldn't let him eat unless he said grace, things like that. So because they're struggling, they say, come on and here's your room. So in the meantime, Brandy there is having sleepwalking visions at night, and the stepmother, who I mentioned is like aggressively overzealous Christian, who instead of exhibiting God's love is passive aggressive and intrusive with no self-awareness. And whoever plays this woman is freaking hilarious, manipulating this couple, pretending to be more of an invalid than she is, throwing bizarre fits. The movie is not, there is like, it's not a comedy, but I think we're supposed to be laughing at some stuff that's going on here. A big old glass of wine.
Guy's got the hero pour for dinner. He's over it.
But it turns out the visions and all this other stuff that I thought was foreshadowing goes nowhere. And there's not really any gore, but there's plenty of poop and pee and yellow spit because this woman is incontinent. I'm sorry to say that even though it was an A24 movie, it's not for me. And in my opinion, it doesn't even really meet A24 standards. The acting was fine. Camera work, stuff like that was fine, but it just doesn't feel like A24, and it's definitely my least favorite film of theirs. So, but if you want to see it, it's on Max.
Does Brandy age, by the way? She looks the same.
How old is she?
She's got to be 40, mid-40s probably.
There's a saying for that, Hunter.
45.
I know what you're going to say. I had it right, 45?
Yeah, it's 45.
Brandy's 45.
She looks like she's 25.
Right.
The woman that plays the old woman, I don't know who that chick is, but I thought she was like maybe 95 years old, and her arms are like this big around, and they got her in the tub. She's naked. She looks like she's melting her body. And then I saw her in an interview, and she looks like she's maybe 65, and it looks great and healthy. So, man, that chick, she steals the whole movie.
Brandy aged like fine cognac.
Like fine
Just like
brandy.
this lady in the tub. Alrighty, Hunter.
All right. So when I was talking about that haunted movie, I think Greg Morgan in the chat said, "Hey, did the Warrens show up?" My next movie is about the Warrens. So it's a documentary also on Netflix called The Devil on Trial. And it is based, you guys saw that Conjuring 3 movie, The Devil Made Me Do It? That awful movie, which was based on one of the Warren files.
I did not watch that.
It's a case of a boy who was possessed, and during an exorcism, his sister's husband or boyfriend says, "Come into me, leave the boy alone." And supposedly,
Sounds familiar.
He ends up murdering their landlord in real life. And then as he was going to trial, his whole thing was, "I don't even know what happened. I must have been possessed by the demon that was in the boy. So the devil made me do it."
Didn't pay the troll toll.
He did not pay the troll toll. He could not get in that boy's hole. So this documentary examines the real life case with reenactments, naturally. But then there's the actual people are interviewed. It's great because I'm sure like the Warrens show up. The Warrens are all over this thing. And if you're a Warren fan, you're going to get really excited in the beginning, and then you're going to want to kick your TV in by the end of this. Because these people are obviously effed up, right? Even years later, they're so effed up. And it gets to the oldest brother, and he's like, they're all full of shit. They were freaking lying the entire fucking time. he was laying the tea on the whole thing.
Didn't that
it was,
case get thrown out?
well, the judge was like, you cannot use devil possession. So the guy did go to jail for a little while. He got out remarkably quick and lived a life. And he's on the circuit. He's making the circuit of, paranormal cons and stuff like that.
Greg Morton wants you to do Ed's voice. I can if you can't.
So the potato farmer was out there bringing in the potatoes, and doppelganger came.
What we did was we put a Christ-like protection spell over us. We went in.
By the way, you couldn't pick an actor more unlike Ed Warren than what they chose for The Conjuring. Ed Warren was a dumpy guy.
That's Jack's Ed Warren doing Ray Romano.
Deborah, I want to see a ghost.
Also my Bob Kane.
And Bobby Valentine.
I saw the mark of Zorro. Inspired Batman.
But yeah, when I went to see Ed, he just sounded potatoes. We kept talking about this doppelganger potato farmer in Canada. I was like, what the hell? So anyway, if you want to see a behind the scenes look at a horrible Conjuring movie, this is it. I was actually fascinated by it. So I need to watch more paranormal documentaries, I think.
It is unbelievable that the Warrens have movies made about them by good, attractive actors. It's the greatest con of all time.
I know. Fear of Farmiga? Come on.
Get out of here. All right, Jack. What we got?
I went into Shudder, and we've been dancing around maybe watching this movie, but we've never gotten around to it. So I watched it, Getaway, with Nick Frost. It's sort of a folk horror comedy where this family goes to this, I think it's Swedish or something, island where they do this ritual show thing where 200 years ago, there was a whole cannibalism incident on the island. And now every year the natives have a show that sort of reenacts the whole thing. And so there's this whole kind of pagan ritual-y kind of thing. And they're sort of invading the privacy of this cult-like community as tourists. And so they're sort of getting that Wicker Man vibe as they go through it. I'd stay away from the pictures on this so you don't spoil anything. So this is a pretty good, it's like a Shudder level movie. It's where it ought to be. It's a good, you'll watch it and be happy with your night, but you're going to move on with your life. What you have to do here is hang in for the first half of the movie, because it's sort of kind of like this traditional folk horror thing with some amusing stuff that I'm kind of watching and going, this is okay, but it's nothing super funny or super. The horror is not really grabbing me. The comedy's not grabbing me, but it's okay. The second half kicks in and becomes very fun. So I would recommend watching it, but it's, like I said, Shudder level movie.
Like that other movie that he just did? Where's the cab driver?
I didn't see that one.
Oh, okay. It sounds similar, like the similar kind of vibe and review.
Like I said, the second half pays off. So
you didn't watch the other Nick Frost with us? You weren't here?
No, I was out that week.
Okay. I was going to ask, does he look concerning? Because in the cab movie, I was concerned for his health.
Yeah, we were all worried.
He could use a salad.
It's concerning. All right. I'm glad the movie's decent. Alrighty. What the hell did I watch? Oh, yeah. I watched a movie called The Damned.
Oh, I almost pulled the trigger on that.
Me too.
So this is about I think it's in the 19th century. Yeah. 19th century. It's a fishing camp, I guess you would call it. I don't even know where it was. It was somewhere way in the north. It says Icelandic here on IMDb. And the movie starts with them out of food. They're way out there. There's nobody around. There's no help coming. I think at one point they say they're 3 days from the next village. They can't catch any fish. They've had bad luck. They've eaten all their fish. And now they're eating the bait that they used to catch the fish. So they are in deep shit. And when they're trying to figure out what to do, and they're getting ready to go out and try to fish again one day, out in the distance, they see this huge ship sinking. And it's actually a really cool scene because it's them watching from the shore and this ship is going under, but you can't hear anything because it's so far away. So it's very well done. And then they are trying to decide whether they should go out and save them or not. And as the movie goes on, it appears that these people might be cursed because they've done some bad things, and hence the title, The Damned. Not many people in it. Looks great. Like it's got to be really hard to shoot a movie in the snow, and this is snow all the time, and they pulled it off. And it couldn't have had a huge budget, but it looks really good. It sounds really good. I dug this. The ending, not my favorite. It's not awful or anything, but had they done something a little different, I feel like I would have liked this even more. So as it stands, solid movie. This could be a decent replacement if we need something. Some week there's nothing out. But yeah.
Where'd you watch it?
Oh my God. Amazon? That's where I watch almost everything if I have to rent it.
It's like $5-6 on Amazon, I think.
Right.
Yeah, Prime Video. So it was solid. And yeah, I liked it. I don't know if this will make my list, but well-made movie.
That's a this year movie or a last year movie?
That's a
Is it from 2 years ago? I just want to make sure your list doesn't get messed up.
Shut up. It says 2024, but I think this might be one of those that maybe hit the circuit in 2024, but just came out.
I'm sure that's how you'll cover yourself if this ends up on the list.
Does anybody else have anything? Bucks?
No.
Let's get on to the main feature.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Jack?
Let somebody else go. I want to save my voice.
All right.
Hunter, can you give us your lovely synopsis?
Yes, this is a movie about people with ugly faces. Dad's got an ugly face. Daughter has no.
That's terrible. Terrible.
Is that your Truman Capote?
It might be.
They have an ugly face.
I want to go out and hang out with Hop and Lee. So stupid. So this is about a dad with some weird skin condition who is also a scientist in his cluttered house. He's working on this experimentation with grafting skin, hence the name Graft. This isn't about what the Doge goes after. He's grafting skin to cure not just himself, but his young daughter, who's got like this big, I don't know, it's beyond a port wine stain on her face. And one day he creates something that does something very bad to him. So bad, he can no longer breathe. I think we might say he's dead. So cut away to her growing up a little bit, and she is sent to America to go live with her aunt.
New Zealand.
Oh, that's right. New Zealand. That's right. Sorry.
You fucked the whole thing up.
Yeah, whatever. It's a New Zealand movie. Anyway, she lives with her, and then it becomes trying to fit in with the Mean Girls and a body horror movie all in one. There you go.
And a dog barking the whole movie.
Oh my God. If you don't like little yappy dogs barking, this movie will drive you nuts.
It's bad.
Yeah.
All right. What did you think?
Well, I saw this, I think like 2 weeks ago or something. And I remember I reached out to you guys after and I was like, hey, this might be a potential main feature for us. Look, I thought this would be total crap, to tell you the truth. But then when I saw, and thank you for reminding me, it was from New Zealand, I had high hopes because for some reason, these movies made in America, they just drop the ball. They're butterfingers here in America. But foreign production companies could usually do better. I think they did. I think they nailed the Mean Girls crap totally. God, I hate teenagers. They are the worst humans on earth. It just reaffirms that. The horror part I thought was pretty cool. It gets a little nuts in the end. But I thought it was a fun movie. It kind of reminded me of the vibe of The Loved Ones, if you've ever seen that movie, with the girl and her father who kidnap her prom date, and there's people under the floorboards and stuff.
Oh, Jesus, that movie.
No.
That's the one with the drill?
The drill, yeah. So I got that kind of fun vibe from this movie. So and it's on Shutter, man. I thought it was an enjoyable watch.
All right, Chad.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. That first, I thought it was one of the greatest opening scenes, honestly, that really set the stage for something that might be cool with the whole. Oh, my experiment is working. Oh no, it's not working.
It's working too good.
I loved that. But I didn't. Nothing really stood out as something that I'm really going to be raving about. If it makes my top 13, I could see that happening. I didn't love it, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good movie.
All right, Jack.
I think Shutter is the perfect place for this movie because I think it's pretty good. It's a lot of really great filmmaking, a lot of great cinematography, a lot of visual storytelling that was done that was top notch. But they start to sort of swing higher than they ought to be. I don't know. Their budgetary concerns and a few other things, like they start to like exceed their reach. And so it starts to kind of show. There's some flawed special effects and things like that, and sort of plot holy things that you just have to roll with. So if you just kind of kick back and it's a Shutter movie and have a good time, fun, great. If you start to put scrutiny to this movie, it kind of falls apart. So I'd say it's a fun watch. Just kind of turn off your brain and watch it.
Yeah.
All right. Shutter. I agree. This is a good Shutter movie to drop here. It's not. I definitely liked it less than you guys. It's not, I didn't hate it or anything, but I actually thought the first act was really good. I loved the opening. I loved this girl trying to continue her father's work and doing it in a new school with a bunch of assholes. I thought, I kind of like where this is going. Then it completely changes course, and I did not like the movie that much from there on out. She starts doing weird shit. We'll have to talk about in spoilers. And it felt like it was out of nowhere. This character turn just totally changes. And the last half of the movie is very different from the first half of the movie. Wasn't my favorite, but that first third, man, I was in. And then it just, by the end, I was just like, okay, will somebody shut that fucking dog up, please?
Oh my God. I don't want to give away any spoilers about the dog. We'll discuss that after the bell rings.
I thought I had a great ending too. Very EC Comics, Tales from the Crypt kind of ending.
The substance.
I love the father when the graft keeps growing and he's just slicing his mouth open.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And then the daughter takes over.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah. First of all, when it opened with them and they're speaking Chinese, I was like, "What? I didn't know this was going to be subtitled." I was like,
my thoughts exactly." Yeah,
Then it's not. You just got to get through that part. But yeah, I did want to say when the guy is first testing this graft on his face, he puts it on there, but it's like kind of over his lip a little bit, and I'm like, "You've been working on this for years, and you couldn't even situate it correctly on your face."
Kind of like when you buy a new phone and you go to put this clear thing over it, and you inevitably get the bubble.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, I like immediately. I'm like, really, guy? You just in that big a hurry?
And that just did not look like a sterile environment. That did not look like a place.
No, there was no
some experimentation.
There was nothing sterile about this movie whatsoever.
No.
Oh, we got a turd burglar in the chat. I just saw. Dave is here.
I was surprised he survived the Super Bowl. I thought he'd be in the gutter right now.
Well, that's right. He's got to be like burning down schools and stuff.
We won. Let's destroy the city.
Oh, shit. You guys have anything else before we jump into spoilers?
I'm all ready for spoilers. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Ding dong.
Okay. This movie is supposed to be she's putting on other people's faces.
Mm-hmm.
and really it's a body swap movie
Yeah.
because she gets the whole body of the other person
Somehow.
They did in one of the first switches because she has a very distinctive like jewel teeth.
The tooth thing is the only thing.
Yeah, which is awesome. That
So
was
they
cool.
they maintained that for early, but then they just said, "Forget it. We don't have time to put in the snaggle
But
tooth or
when
whatever."
you take tiny little
No,
girl,
she had it on every time. They
Did
always
she?
had the tooth. Yeah,
but when you take like tiny little girl and then like Margot Robbie Jr.,
yeah.
you know,
Body swap. This dude is banging them, and he
Yeah,
can't
like-
tell the difference.
I
Yeah,
feel
you
like he
can't
would
tell.
notice.
Yeah.
It was stuff like that. And then when they got to the point where the girl would like lose the face, the only makeup was just her face with like red, like ketchup on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was stuff like that. I was like, okay, I just have to roll. Like imagine my friends made this movie and I'm like, oh, that was fun, guys.
Yeah, it's almost as though she only took the I can't remember the name of the dermal layers, but like the sunburned layer, just to
Yeah.
Yes.
peel off, and then the rest of it is just pink.
Yeah.
all she needed.
She also is incredible at mimicking other people's voices with about 3 seconds of training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like really
Well,
good.
She did stay quiet in the very beginning for a while, just doing a lot of nodding. But then, yeah, boom, perfect mimic.
Yeah. I also didn't understand why she became the psychotic serial killer, like out of nowhere. She was just this woman studying, working on her shit, and then about halfway through the movie, she has a drill and she's walking through her house doing like a Jason Voorhees or a Michael Myers walk. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on?
I think it was just she snapped. She's a girl who lost her dad, has an orphan, bullied, has a professor who she looked up to steal her father's work, and that was it.
Like the Joker said, you just need a little push.
Yeah.
And this was supposed to be in college, right? Because they
Yes.
acted like they were in high school. College
They all
students
looked like they were like in
normally
grad
don't
school.
have that, like the whole drama, the whole like bullying stuff is usually gone like the day you graduate.
It
And
was.
you never see that again.
Good.
I just thought, Chad, I thought the same thing. And I thought, oh, okay, this is community college. But then again, community college, you're not going to have a professor doing this like big time work, trying to, get a paper out of
Yeah.
something that he's
Getting
doing.
a grant
that
and
was
stuff,
confusing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was college, but then like they're going like walking into school every morning and going past everybody saying hi, and I was like, is this high school? I don't understand. So
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure if it was high school or college.
It was definitely college.
Okay. So I don't know. Her psycho killer turn was not great for me. Then there's moments where like the cops show up and they're like, "Hey, can we talk to you?" And she's like, "I'm going to go change clothes." And they're like walking through the house but didn't find anything. And then they go to her bedroom door and they're like, "Here's our card," and they leave. I'm like, is that how cops act when someone's missing?
Well, because she
What?
was pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's all about the
I don't-
superficiality of the world.
I do. Yeah, I mean that definitely was a theme.
It was so fetch.
But,
you know what? The weird stuff like that, I just gave it a pass. I was like, I'm just having fun with this movie. Just give me some fun body horror. If she turned
See,
into Ash and just started killing everybody, I'm like, fine.
See, that was all the stuff that I would like in a normal movie, but I think because I thought the first act was so interesting, what they were doing, that when it just turned into like a slasher, I was just like, eh.
I agree. I thought it was gonna be a higher brow thing.
Right. It turned into like shit we normally watch.
So it set itself up too much in the beginning. It flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, I think so.
And it fell
At least
to
for
earth.
me. Yeah, again, it wasn't like I hated it. It was just like, okay, this dude's now banging her and she just has a different face. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe he was on coke.
He
can't
was. That was funny though. He's like, it's time to celebrate. He can tell coke.
whip out the coke, whip out the booze. And yeah, if he just didn't up coke, he wasn't banging her anyway, so he wouldn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way,
the pool.
Diamond Dave says that you bullied him in college, Jason.
I
Just so
bully
you
him now.
know. That you do.
Yeah, there's nothing's changed. I don't know why he's bringing that up.
Just
Should bring
take
up
it and
last
take it.
Friday when I told him I was going to kill him, and I meant it.
But you didn't.
Anyway.
He's still here.
Unfortunately for all of us.
Wow.
Anything else before we get out of here?
Oh, the dog.
Oh,
Oh my God, dude.
So,
I don't know if you noticed, like in the background, she'd be doing stuff and you could just hear the dog.
constantly.
It's like, okay.
How she goes on a murder spree and doesn't kill the dog that's looking to blow up her spot every time. I have no idea.
And I was waiting for her to graft the dog to somebody, like as a punishment or something.
Right.
that would have been cool.
Oh, she put her face on the dog and that's how she got away.
She looked like that dog from what is it? Is it American Werewolf from London? Or is it?
Oh, the
Oh,
dog
what
with
is
the
that?
man face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
Carpenter.
Body Snatchers.
Yeah, Body Snatchers.
Body
Yeah.
Snatchers.
That's it.
It's like Jerry Garcia's face or something, isn't it?
It was weird.
I don't remember. I forgot about that. That's good stuff. Alrighty. If there's nothing else, do we have any clue? Oh, what's the something heart?
Hard Eyes.
Hard eyes.
Yeah, you guys mentioned that. I don't know. Is that
Getting
a
good
Valentine's
reviews.
Day movie?
It's
came out
what's his name?
Friday.
Josh Rubin, I think, is involved with it.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Came out Friday, did pretty well. I talked to a few people, they enjoyed it, so I'm going to see it regardless. That's our Valentine anniversary.
All right, we'll talk about
Right.
it. I hopefully can. I'd like to see that then. Ruben's involved. Our boy. who
I hear the kills
jerks off and
are
sings.
I hear the kills are awesome.
Cool. Alrighty. Thanks, everyone. We will see you next week.
See you.
Time for the colonoscopies.
Game over,